When we got to the mainland, we found the space elevator's support facility. I guess this was the factory where they built the gigantic structure the elevator traveled in. There was this little girl sitting in front of a mural. When the princess saw her, she shuddered like she'd seen a ghost. The girl had a stuffed animal. This was the day after the shit went down at Tyler Island. She walked right up to the princess, took her hand, and led her into the factory. One thing's for sure, they knew each other. The factory'd been converted to a production line for Erusian drones. It was fully automated and chugging along, making drone after drone after drone. Once they got inside, the princess stopped and just stood there. Another girl was there with a man in a lab coat. He was trying to use his keyboard, but she wouldn't let him. She took a data chip and threw it on the ground. Then she walked over to us and took the gun from the prison guard's holster. She pulled the trigger and destroyed the chip. Later, I found out that the girl with the gun and the one with the stuffed animal were sisters. They were also the granddaughters of Mihai A. Shalaji, the legendary pilot. Gramps used to talk about him. He said Mihai was the top ace from 2 wars ago. Know any Belkans? Because this guy was a Belkan, and they love to stir shit up. Pitting nations against other nations is a particular favorite of theirs, along with developing hyper-advanced technology.
That's right. I'm Belkan, born and raised. My country is gone now. Rather than surrender to its enemy, Belka detonated 7 nuclear weapons on its own soil. My people scattered around the globe, living in the shadows of other countries. We had a new purpose: to breed wars. The theory was that through war, we could achieve our destiny and our revenge. I had just finished inputting Mihai's data when his granddaughter came in. She destroyed the only copy I had of the information I squeezed out of him. The girl loved Mihai. No one knew more than her just how hard I pushed her grandfather for that data, how much I made him sacrifice in the process. I promised his granddaughters that his efforts were not in vain, that it could end this terrible war. But in the end, it only caused more chaos and despair. We were responsible for all this damage, all this tragedy. Now, we were going to pay for it. The Erusians, once our allies, would see to that. I had lost the drive to continue my work, even before I noticed Mihai's granddaughters eyeing me with suspicion that one day. I should have stopped then, for all our sakes. Mihai's granddaughter tossed the gun aside. She said if she resorted to killing, she'd just end up like the rest of us. And by us, she meant everyone, including the princess. Like me, the princess was afraid to look into the girl's eyes. She knew that by encouraging her people, she kept the war going. Mihai and his granddaughter were victims of it, and now, they too were paying the price.
Is this for Belka? Or for Erusea? My grandfather had only one wish: to continue soaring through the endless skies. That was the only place where he felt alive. But I don't even have a country to call home, let alone the sky. The Black Forest, the lake, they are no longer mine. Even though those lands were once cherished by my late mother. We have to learn to put that sense of nostalgia behind us and behave like mature adults.
My homeland. She's right. It feels so far away now. The woman with the rifle approached me. She was focused on more pressing issues.
I checked the computer. All of the data on the legendary Ace had already been installed.
No, I pulled it before it was completed. However, there are 2 aircraft that are already scheduled to be manufactured based on that data.
We must destroy the factory.
This isn't the only one. There are more facilities just like it, and the 2 planes containing the data will be manufactured at one of those facilities.
So, this place runs on solar power that the space elevator generates, right? How about the others? We can destroy the space elevator and cut the power to them. First things first, let's take this one out.
I'll show you which locations to target.
I stood there, thinking about that mural by the factory's entrance. Harling commissioned it to be painted. I realized that in the background, behind the dancing figures, the artist had painted several space elevators. I understand now. The space elevator wasn't designed to exploit Erusia after all.
Good. It was built. Right now, it's the root of this chaos.
I wonder
Yes?
which path you would choose when looking at Harling's mirror.
Let's get the briefing started.
We've done enough air operations. Just let us go home.
There's no path for us to get home. Whatever direction you fly, a hail of enemy fire. Earlier we received a communication by the part network. Here is what it contained. Apparently, the Erusian radicals have gathered around the space elevator, as it's a source of energy. Give the warmongers a powerful energy source, and you give them the luxury to keep on fighting. In response to this, people from both Osea and Erusia have joined forces, and will take down the final Arsenal bird in a saturation attack from the air. Bring the world back from the brink, go to the lighthouse. You can see the future there.
Dumbass? Sounds familiar.
Certainly does. It's from those guys we met in Tyler Island, the 444 Squadron. It's a message to all those looking to end the war, but I also think it's a message for Trigger.
I guess we'll do what it says.
Okay. Well then, I'm thinking we go roast that damn bird.
Looks like we're all on the same page. It's time to end this war. Time to fly, guys. Let's go get that Arsenal bird.
Strider Squadron, sortie ASAP. formation. We have the numbers.
Well, if it isn't the LRSSG. Looks like our luck has turned. LRSSG, you will secure air superiority. There are Erusian aircraft in the Coalition, so they have been ID'd as friendly via the data link.
Just confirmed it.
The Erusian government aircraft, including drones, will show up as hostiles. You two aces, I'm thinking it's time to show us what you've got.
We don't have 2 anymore. Guess nobody told them. That's quite true, Count. It's not just 2. Wiseman trained his squad well. Everyone still entered as an ace. He'd be proud of you all.
To all of you who have gathered here, regardless of your country, this is headquarters of the Ocean Army Southern Command. Wait, you can forget that designation. We are a coalition formed exclusively for the sole purpose of taking down the Arsenal Bird. Wait until we're ready to strike the Arsenal Bird in unison. Roger.
Ross, you're speaking on an open channel. The enemy can hear everything he's saying. There's no other choice. The Erusian aircraft are in the Coalition as well.
This is Skull Squadron and Rigel Squadron of the Erusian Air Force. We're here on our own. Lancaster, we're entering your airspace.
This is Sol 2. The Republic of Boss Ledger also moving to rendezvous. There's only 1 squadron, though. It's Mr. X's crew. Count, ease up. Engagement is forbidden. Don't worry, I know. We need every road we can call upon. Even if they were flying with the guy that killed Wiseman. Some of their squadrons are in weird formations. They have manned aircraft running over the base and slave route. All this just to keep a war going.
How many more do we need to take out?
Shoot them down one at a time. They'll run out eventually.
The UAVs were sluggish once the leader went down. I thought his black drones without leaders are slow as hell. The biggest threat is slave route. Don't turn your back on them.
Okay, commencing transmission. I'm speaking over both terrestrial broadcasting and video transmission networks. It's not important who we are. First, our goals. Destroy the space elevator. Second, we want power to the drone factory cut in order to put a stop to all the war and chaos that its products cause. And last, we want to bring an end to this pointless war that has given rise to a state of anarchy. Let me tell you what's going on right now. The land is overrun with refugees who have lost their homes. This is no isolated incident. In spite of that, the war continues to rage overhead.
Strikes on our side? That's the best news I've heard in a long time. Against 3 strikes? Never again.
Leadership right verified.
This isn't a rebellion. It's a battle for independence. So grit your teeth, take down the Arsenal Bird and build a new country.
Some coalition this has turned out to be, huh? They'll keep talking big once the war is over, too. And better, we need something or someone to guide us.
Are the friendly Erusians rebels or what?
They're rebels, but I'm sure it's more complicated than that. Brush up on current events later. Focus on the enemy.
Copy that. Take a look. See that line continuing above the horizon? The cable goes up to the sky as far as the eye can see. Not many people know this, but the space
God damn
elevator
it, I just did a whole rant. So I just went through 20 minutes going through a rant of a whole thing. So let's sum this up. The rant was about getting Content ID claim. I recognize that's the nature of this. This is a hobby. Playing video games is a hobby. I'm going to do that regardless of the Content ID claim. But Bandai Namco, US, I think it's the US one, basically just Content ID'd some streams, exported streams, which, you know, was their right. I'm not disputing that. I would never dispute that. what my problem is that I don't know if my stream, or the 2 streams, because they only did 2 of them, are fair use or not. Fair use is such an open-ended legal doctrine. It is not law. It is a legal doctrine. And I knew at some point, I suppose, it would happen. What I kind of wish was a thing for me, like, at least because I'm the one getting claimed here. I wish there was more information on the rationale. Like, what specifically caused the claim? I wish, in YouTube's case, I would say, because they have to do this if a claim happens. Although it could be, I think, an automated system. Whatever. Shit happens. Oh, come on. I'm in the middle of a dogfight. Oh, okay.
10 seconds to impact. 5, 4, 3,
up,
2,
and away.
1. Impact.
Missile.
No.
Missile.
How many got caught in that explosion?
Caster, we have more incoming.
Unknown. Proceed with caution.
So, I don't have the money in any sense of the word to fight this in court. Not that I probably would. I wouldn't know where to begin. I'd have to hire a lawyer, one who's good in copyright law, and then consultations with that lawyer would probably cost an arm and a leg in and of itself. And doing this, see, this makes me worry about... This makes me worry, it's like, I should only stream or let's play games that allow for the full turning off of music, and I don't really like doing that, or at least fully turning off music, mostly because sometimes playing without it is not necessarily a good thing. It takes the feel away, and I believe... Do I actually configure the options? No, I don't. Okay, we're gonna probably have to go into the menu settings. So, once that happens... Oh, here we go. Once that happens... It'll happen. Whatever. I don't know. I'm ranting about it, I suppose. Ranting about what little recourse I have to actually defend myself in this situation. Because it's almost like the Content ID system is a guilty until proven innocent kind of thing. Like the burden of proof, if I remember some words from Lawful Masses with Leonard French, the burden of proof would be on me to prove what I'm doing is currently fair use.
5 seconds.
I'm streaming this live on Twitch. So I should probably put my mic close to my mouth. But yeah, no, the burden of proof is on me, and I'm not sure what my proof would be to begin with. I don't know how to say that what I'm doing is fair use. I don't even know if what I'm doing is fair use, because it's such a wide-ranging legal doctrine. It's difficult to prove in some cases what one is doing isn't fair use. The best example of something that is fair use would probably be is parody, because that's, while yes, it uses the tune, the lyrics are different, the theme is different. Oh, there we go. I actually did not want to do that, but I killed him, so there's that. But
Inform the coalition units. Nearing 0 hour. 10 seconds until the united attack on the arsenal burn.
I don't know how I can really figure this out. So what I'm doing, and at least YouTube gives you this option. Oh look, cruise missiles, more cruise missiles, everything missiles. No, what I'm doing in this situation is getting rid of the bits in the video, which sucks because most of them are cutscenes and then people are going to get confused. So getting rid of the bits that... well, we'll do something, if you will. Oh, shit. Laser!
HQ, we have a problem. Damage to the Allied fleet is extensive. That's some pretty impressive firepower. I, for one, did not see that coming.
The active protection system operated as expected. We should launch another saturation attack. Air power. You'll slow the Arsenal bird.
Traeger, enemy has a lock on you! Strider 1, Fox 2. Landed on a friendly
Ow.
It's readying its APS. All aircraft, break off from the Arsenal bird.
Yeah, I gotta be careful about that. I almost got stuck in that once. That would have been, shitty.
Go through the airlock and get on the maintenance elevator.
So...
Do you think you can put on that pressurized suit by yourself? You'll never get it on over those frills. Yes.
right.
I'm getting sick of that arrogant bastard. Seriously.
No good. The engine control room is gone. They've hit our radar room and the IC.
Main propeller 1 confirmed stall. Good work, Trigger. Keep up the attack.
Oh, is he doing... Yep. That is a pretty interesting piece of technology. I honestly wonder what it would take... Let's just make sure my other... Okay. Why does this take so long? Processing. So, I have 2... Hopefully no more, but you never know.
Conventional weaponry. All the ace pilots in the world won't save us unless we have a plan.
Well,
Give us time. We'll see what we can do.
You're just thinking about it now?
no.
Friendlies, it's hit.
Do the plane.
Enemy on your back. Don't shoot! Don't shoot! Locked go down. Both main propellers have been stalled.
Yay!
It's readying its APS.
Now, there's a part when we actually, like, fire to kill this thing, where I will have the worst possible time just because, how shall I put this? It's gonna be at the bottom. Of the Arsenal bird itself. So. Alright. Well, maybe you should get out of the clouds in a relatively warm area.
Calm down. I'll do something.
What are you gonna do?
Come on.
Special 6 of the bastards. It'll lose power.
Damn shield. Just go away. Be gone. Disappear.
Gotta love Count.
On Cuckoo Count?
Away with you.
Oh, come on, you fool. This bitch is fucked!
Just what kind of magic did you work there, you asshole?
It wasn't magic. It's a scam. Trigger!
The lights. It's switched to the backup power supply. That means the meat supply's been cut off.
Alright.
The drones are acting crazy. Are you seeing this? The drones are falling one after another. They've completely lost control.
Strider 1 has destroyed a sub-propeller. You can do it. There's no way it isn't damaged. Trigger got a sub-propeller.
Yep.
You're getting the hang of this, Trigger.
Oh. No, go away.
Propeller is moving again. Just how hard is that thing? Goes down to destroying the Rectenna's base. Say what? If we destroy the docking modules, the supply unit will break off a reverse road. That'll leave the Rectenna base vulnerable. Light on fire, and we can cook that bird whole. Theoretically, that may prove possible even for an experienced pilot. That would be a problem, but... Yeah, but our guy's more than just an experienced pilot. Trigger, let's do this. Is he really that good of a pilot? I'd bet on it. Besides, if he thought it was impossible, he wouldn't have said anything.
Right. Let's... Gotta love this plane from the Slovakian Air Force. Alright.
Tabloids! Get back here! I can't leave that girl to die. Fine, fine. Get her, but be quick about it.
Right.
The drones are acting odd. Run! Run! Careful!
Not be directly in front of the giant killing everything laser thing. So... right.
Kid Tabloid went after his safe.
Oh...
Good. What about Tabloid? Is he safe? George and the girl were saved. They were saved. Both of them.
All targets have been destroyed. The supply unit is ready to fall off. Laser cannon confirmed destroyed.
Yay!
Thanks. That thing almost cooked my tail.
A couple of times, I suppose.
Rectenna where the supply unit was. Destroy that, and even the mighty Arsenal bird is sure to feel it. Leave it to Trigger.
So wait, is this...
Leave the big fish to Trigger. We'll take down the UAVs.
Oh, it's... Ah! That would have been bad. Okay, yeah, no, you see, the thing is, it's right below. And I have to kinda... I'm out of ADMM, so... This is gonna suck. I had to do this with standard missiles to begin with. Come on. No! I hate this. I'm half tempted to go into free mission and do the rest because this sucks.
Cyclops 3, Fox 2.
I feel like I'm swimming in the ocean alongside a whale.
Enemy on your back.
At least I can kill something.
Locked on. Sitting duck here.
Ammunition 0. Missile. Missile.
You're too far out.
Come on. Yay! The bastard is dead. This was more annoying than the Arcbird. Holy crap, was that astounding. That was such a pain in the ass. I mean, it was necessary because the Belkans kind of took it over, but you know, blame them for everything.
All aircraft, avoid the target's path. That's the last of the rogues. Even in death, that thing is intimidating.
Well, I mean, it's kind of on fire, so... Yay!
These people here were alive up until a few moments ago. My friend was here. Can you see this? This is just one of the many
Let's
signs of war and what
record
it
that and for posterity for all time. I know for a fact we're probably really close to the crazy ass drone missions. There's sort of 2 of them to do. So
You guys better not throw away your lives either.
Wait there, Princess. We'll get you down. Don't worry about
one
me.
sec, I will BRB.
I'll parachute down. What?
Warning, incoming bogey.
Are those the drones we saw at that factory? I'm coming down. I'll see you on the ground.
No, wait!
Enemy on my 6. Those guys are bad news.
Oh, those remind me of... I never played the game it was in, but the Falcon, whatever it's called. Any Ace Combat fan will know what I'm talking about.
This isn't the time for that.
Cosette!
Avril, they're headed this way. Get the refugees to safety now. Predator 2, you're hit. Are you alright? Still breathing. I won't be flying much longer, though. There's an Ocean carrier a few kilometers to the west. It ran aground and was abandoned. It won't be easy, but it's the only place you got.
Well, I mean, he's flying
Escort your wingman. Let's get to that carrier.
an F-15 onto a carrier. I'm not sure if the developers were like...
Can you hear me? I somehow managed to land. It's your turn now.
Boy.
Carrier ran aground, but that shouldn't be a problem for you. I'll guide you down. 3,000 meters to carrier.
Landing on carriers in this game is always a tricky thing.
You're on course.
It's tricky in real life. Oh my god, if you ever see the evolution of American carrier aviation,
Meters to carrier.
and then probably the next,
Nose.
I guess you could say, best evolution of carrier aviation would be... Alright. We did it!
Nice work. You pulled off a perfect landing.
Why would you abandon this?
Now the real challenge begins.
I see you leave, like, traps or whatever. I mean... boy. So... Regardless, though, getting back to the content thing, regardless of that, I like the game series enough to continue playing the game series. So, but what this will teach me in the future is to be careful with other games in the series, because I have Ace Combat 5, I have Ace Combat 4, and I have Ace Combat 0, and I have Air Combat, which is the first Ace Combat game. So I'm not really sure, while I will finish this, I'm not sure if I will finish all the others, if you know what I mean. So, oh sweet, we got 1 million. What does this get us? Alright, we got some music. Looks like a trailer. Well, sort of a trailer. Flashbacks. I have to talk over it because it's music. And I'm not famous enough to sort of not be affected. Sometimes people can have more luck than I would, and I'm sure I could put some music or some static over this if this was a YouTube video, and that might confuse the system a little bit, even though I personally believe what I'm doing
idea.
with this is fair use, but
The Admiral Anderson.
I am not a lawyer.
The name of an old sailor.
Oh! Oh,
When the
fuck, I
first
remember
drone
him. He
started
was a
attacking,
captain of
the
the
ship
original
wasn't ready for
Kestrel in,
battle. He was still in the dock
Ace
when all
Combat
rigged up.
5.
So they rushed to get her ready.
He was great.
about
I wish there was more of him. I wish you, like, got
In
to
the
see
previous
him
Ocean War, he was the
retire.
ship that sent out the last fleet of jets.
Uh-huh.
They say
So...
the deck was sloping so bad as it sank, the last plane barely made it off.
I would imagine.
Those fighters ended the war.
She
That
just
story
made
gives me a little bit
a
of
whole
hope,
reference
especially
to the
in a time like
Rosgreaves
this.
Squadron. I swear
We're
to
all
God,
in the
if
same boat,
Twitch...
like it or not. If this war keeps going on like it is,
Hang on.
it'll
Twitch
be
has a
beyond
habit sometimes of splitting streams into, like, multiple things, but it's the same
military
stream.
loaded this thing to
And
the
you don't
rafters
stop
with
it, you don't
planes.
do anything.
Some were fighters that were
Doesn't
gonna be
do it
delivered to
often,
bases in
but it
occupied
does it.
territory.
So,
It was hit before it could complete the mission.
yeah.
Jackpot.
Hey!
Goodies.
Yes,
Queen's
F-16s.
got work to do.
And F-15s and other things. That'd be funny if I could select a bomber and launch it off of a carrier. That'd be great. Dark blue!
Trigger, everyone, listen up.
Yep, I'm here.
The operation was a success.
Yes, it
Erusian
was.
defense
It
forces have
was
been neutralized, and all Arsenal
a
birds
royal
are down.
pain in the ass, but
However, those
it
two
was.
new drones buzzing around have royally screwed up our plans. The Osean and Erusian coalition's air forces are in a sorry state thanks to them. We might not even have any viable aircraft left. According to the Scrap Queen, the drones are trying to use the space elevator's transmission capabilities to send their data to drone manufacturing plants across the continent. They're trying to strengthen their numbers. What's worse, their data contains a depth of war experience, so the newer aircraft will be more tactically advanced. If that's the case, this war will never end.
I mean, there's always
We need to take both
an
drones
EMP
down, no matter what it takes.
or
We'll do it,
something.
so
A
we
lot
have
of the
homes to go back to.
some of the factors might be above
Well,
ground.
Scrap
I
Queen's on
mean,
our side. She says she can make any aircraft fly. This is our final mission.
yeah, why not?
Trigger, let's go. We've got a goddamn war to end.
Well, look, I can come back to this war at any time because for me this is a video game, but you, it's real life. Which is that's actually a very scary theory that what we are is a simulation, or like we are a video game, so to someone else, to some higher being. And meaning, while I am playing a video game, think of it like this. I'm playing a video game of an alternate universe that could exist. So say for a moment, the Strange Real universe, because that's what it's called, is a real alternate universe. And I'm playing a video game of that alternate universe. Someone, a higher being than me, could be playing a video game of me doing this. Which is actually quite terrifying to think about if you think about it. Right. So... Alright, let's get going here. Okay, so we can continue at the CFA. Oh my god, for continuity reasons. Alright. A carrier-based... for ultimate... I might need it for one of these guys. Air-to-air... ground lock-on missile... that's electronic support. That's a sod dispenser. We'll go with that. We'll sortie.
Strider Squadron, take off.
This is like... there's already the F-18 Super Hornet. This is like the Hyper Hornet here. So, like, call it the F-5000 Hyper Hornet. If the Navy ever creates something like this, being the U.S. Navy, they use the F-18EF. I don't know why they call it that. There might be two versions of the Hornet, that one's an E and one's an F. And the only difference is in the paperwork that says it's either an E or an F. So you get my point here. What can I say? I mean, look at it. You can clearly tell the Hornet inspired it. And there's some F-35s, an F-22.
Can I use this?
Hey, can you hear me?
It's probably a nuclear-powered carrier, so...
I even buffed up the canopy for a nice shine,
Ah.
so you can really see the sky.
Oh, thank you. That's very nice.
Take care, Trigger.
F-15s.
When you get back, let me know what you saw.
Let me see that. Trigger, wish I could have flown with you. A dinged up plane and an injured pilot would only slow you down. I feel for him now.
Pulse jet!
Take care. Whatever happens, it ends here. The outcome's mostly up to him.
I mean, it usually is with your hero characters, isn't it?
Oh yeah, he's the one who took off just now.
We've got quite a few Erusians with us. Erusians are sticking around too. I don't care what country anyone's from. What counts is knowing who the real enemy is. Right, guys?
I
think everybody here knows the score.
Oh, look at that! ADF-11.
Mission. All aircraft follow trigger. Roger that. Understood.
All right.
Understood.
Mobius 3 through 7 on standby.
Able to broadcast and communicate. With the information infrastructure down, it's the only place capable of wide area data transmission. Drones are waiting for it to power up again.
Goal leader to Longcast. UAV is confirmed in direction of travel. Engaging two bandits.
All aircraft converge on Skull Squadron. Surround and shoot them down. Strider 3, copy. Let's do it, Ocean. UAV reacting. Damn, they're fast. All aircraft stay sharp. Intercept now. There we go. One down. One down. Target is losing altitude rapidly.
Enemy is black smoke billowing from it. I saw it myself. Green strike is the real deal. 120 left.
Soul 2, evade, evade!
Soul 2 lost. It's a good one, too. Vito, damn it! Damn it!
Alright.
That one looks like it hurt.
Well, hey, you know, I wanted the absolute best plane around, and this looks like the most Generation 6. Oh! Here we go! You know, the Phoenix rises from its ashes, if you know what I mean.
What the? It's just like the UAV the Trigger shot down at Bulgurdarest. Is that the prototype that Wiseman was talking about? Strider 1, locked on target.
I...
Unable to acquire status updates from Erusian aircraft via data link. All aircraft rely on visual confirmation. Avenge Vito.
That's right.
Is it just me, or is that thing trying to read Trigger's reactions? It's observing Strider 1. It's like it's trying to learn from it. UAV is down. Radar signal is lost.
Jaeger, Hushin, Seymour, Soul 3, and then Count. Count! We got Count! Alright, I know for a fact... See, there is a technique of sorts. I know there's another one. There is a technique of sorts I can get, well, not get, do That'll allow me to get to the tunnel I have to fly through, and that's crashing into the ground.
Yet it's still flying. Can anyone hear me? That aircraft needs to be taken care of.
It's around here somewhere. Because there's a tunnel that goes the length of that thing, that bridge there, so... Ah, there we go! Got another one, but yeah, no. So I have to fly through this tunnel, which is right there. Ace Combat 5 had a similar tunnel. It was the most annoying and worst thing ever. Oh, fuck. Where is it? Oh, no, it's right there. Well, you know, I was...
Where are you going? We rely on Trigger too much. He's gonna need help.
You can't be serious, Count.
Yeah, well, you had no problem with Trigger doing the same thing.
Trigger's different.
Trigger's different.
Damn fool.
Don't worry. I learned something from my last squadron. Stick with Trigger, and you'll make it.
Okay, I'm not gonna have to crash. That's good, but like... Let me put it to you this way. One mess up is gonna screw me over more than anything. Because there's like no room to maneuver while in the tunnel itself. Ah! Nope, 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 nope. Down, down, down.
Whoa. What makes you think that?
No time to explain. The radio will cut out soon. It'll take a short time for the drone to send over the data. You need to destroy it as fast as you can.
There it is. UAV spotted. We finally found it.
Oh.
Some static when the gate closed. Do you think the UAV is operating the gates?
Yes.
Well, there goes our only way out. I thought we were gonna pull this.
I have to scratch my ear. These missions are some of the most stressful missions you'll ever play in an Ace Combat game. I think Project Wingman doesn't even have these. It kind of does in one of the missions where you have to destroy an major energy production facility, but not really any other time, which is great because as much as this is actually a staple of Ace Combat, flying through tunnels, I absolutely hate it. I always hated it. It took me to beat 5 over a week. Like, I was able to do all the other missions relatively easily, you know, but the tunnel thing, you have to...
After making through that maze. Don't worry, I'll think of something. I'll find us a way out.
Alright.
They're waiting for you outside. I'm not gonna let you drop here. No sign of the drone. Did it take enough?
Oh, now I have to scratch my head. It's like all these itches come at the worst possible time.
Another path? Doesn't matter. We know where it's going. We can catch it.
Alright. Where... I'm making the slightest of movements because this is such a substantial thing. Alright. God damn it.
Damn it! It got me. I'm hit. Shit.
How did it do that?
I'm fine, but I'm losing thrust. Is it my engine? Definitely feels like it's my engine. I'm fine. I can still fly. My rudder's acting up. It's hard to keep level. I'm not getting much thrust, but...
Alright, let's do another itch I have to deal with.
I'll be okay.
For the love of God, you know what I mean. Alright. Now, this isn't even the worst part. We'll get to that.
That's quite the problem. It appears I can't get any more thrust.
Uh...
The drone is turning. It'll send its payload. Shoot it down.
Here we go. Alright.
Yeah, baby. Hey, I'm being serious here. That's right. We're going home. I thought of a way out of here. The space elevator. The windbreak is hollow, and there's no ceiling all the way up. Not sure if my bird can handle it, though.
Fuck!
Fly! I know you can make it! I'll attempt a belly landing. Get out of here! Everyone's waiting for you! I wanted to wait until
I'm actually sweating. And not because I'm wearing a hoodie in a basement. This really is stressful. It took me quite a while to beat this.
Anyway, here goes. Come on, baby, stay with me just a bit.
No, stop going to the left or right without me pressing the button. No, no, no. Bad.
Should we send in an evac team?
Bad.
We have to wait.
Oh, bad. And I don't see the elevators themselves, you know, the thing I just passed there. All that easily. Yeah, lady, I'm well aware. I have far more pressing matters to worry about. Please be the last.
We're waiting for that.
Yeah, shut up. I am well aware. Oh my god. First try. Lobster fucking bisque, everyone. I have never done that on a first try. It took me a while to do this because I kept crashing. You will always crash. There are people probably far more skilled than me.
Wish y'all could have seen that.
You damn fool.
Far better than me. Again, that could probably do this, but I've never done this on a first try, ladies and gentlemen. Sweet fucking Jesus, I'm so happy.
We're all in the same boat there.
Yeah, well, I guess
So, what can I say?
We're sending help. Give us your coordinates.
Music. Wait.
directly under the space
No,
elevator.
no
Elevation
music.
minus 500 meters.
Minus?
Dude,
Hey, Trigger. You dumbass. Tell me something.
what do you want to know?
What color's the sky up there?
It's like bit of blue, bit of black.
We're on our way back from our 7-year mission to the asteroid belt. I can't tell you how proud I am to be the first to land at
Wait,
this
what was that
spaceport.
transmission?
This is Captain K. Nagase.
Hey! Kei Nagase from Ace Combat 5, ladies and gentlemen. She... Fuck.
Spaceship a place to dock. We are forever grateful.
What was she? I know she was, I think, Rosgrease 2 or War Dog 2, you know, bit of both.
At last, we have a gateway to
But
ascend to it.
I'm
Over and over again.
I'm just like,
It's all coming together for me. Today was the day, the moment of her return.
oh my god, the lady herself. Ah! I'm having a moment here. Again, I've tried playing this game through again multiple times, but I never really... I got bored and wanted to do other things, you know? Oh, there he is. Wait. Screenshot, because let's be honest. Well, let's take a better one.
Skies
Oh,
unknown.
well.
The path to mankind's vast
I wanted
future
to do,
remains standing, Granddad.
other things, I suppose. And, actually, more music. Is this credits? No, this is still cutscene. But music, because I have to talk,
The
so
refugees built the
subtitles,
settlement
so
for
there you
themselves
go.
at the base of the space elevator.
As the notification
A
goes
humanitarian
away.
mission from Yuktuvania
Uh,
supplies for them again today.
Yuktobania.
Thanks to the princess,
The
the whole
communist
world is
country of this universe. You can't have a fictional universe without fictional
Sending out relief
communists.
supplies
At least
would have
that's what I think they are. They have similar symbolism, sort of.
But since he's
Or at
dead
least they
now,
use the
job
same
went to the
colors.
guy from Belka. I guess Tabloid got that new system he wanted in the end.
What new system was it? Was it a game system? It sounds like something he would want.
Too.
Uh,
Mihai. That cranky old geezer's here with us.
Ah, great, he's alive.
I never wanted to create.
See, there was a lot of I remember when this game, before it launched, Ace Combat fan and just about everyone, because this is Erugia after all, thought this was Yellow 13, and there's some speculation at the end of, I think it is Ace Combat 0, that Yellow 13 is actually alive somewhere. That would be nuts! If the man himself, Yellow 13, I'm having a moment, reappeared,
You know what having peace in the world
somehow,
means?
somewhere,
It's being able to die
something.
your own bed at a regular
I like to see, because there was a lot of surviving members of squadrons from other Ace Combat games still around, mainly from
And the princess?
0. No. Yes, 0, because Mobius or some Mobius 1 or another Mobius 1, a descendant or whoever, was alive or something. Fuck, what else is there? In Ace Combat 0, I think it is, there's a guy who goes around interviewing people about Solo Wing Pixie, that one of the mercenary pilots, and that you end up playing. I think that's the only mercenary pilot you end up playing. And, yeah. I didn't need to do a refill in the middle of the stream. That's great. We have... right. Credits. Now we have DLC missions, because we're only an hour in. Chances are I'm going to get through all of them. 2 million. They're in the SP mission. I actually want more add-on missions. We're doing this casual, easy, unexpected visitor. These missions sort of take it came out before Project Wingman, but a Project Wingman approach, as I will continue to call it, where there's no direct characters in the cutscenes. So
I've almost finished writing the summary for the report.
Yeah. Kingdom of Erusia's advanced nuclear submarine sunk.
I'm still unconvinced. So here's a question for you, Alex. How can we do this without killing 3 strikes?
I mean, I kind of have a name. You can just call me Trigger. This and that. You know what I mean. Beep, beep, beep. I would like to see more of Rosa in the DLC or something, signing like a peace accord, having some lines or whatever.
How much longer are you gonna make me wait?
Who's the self-important stiff?
You'll hear. And he really is quite important. We're connected. Ready now, sir.
Oh boy. So...
I'm Brigadier General Howard Clemens. I'm in charge of this operation.
Is this...
Our objective is to capture an advanced submarine in harbor at Artiglio. The port of Artiglio and the surrounding oil facilities were mostly destroyed by another air operation.
Oh, that port. Seems like such a long time ago.
You've been there?
However, Erusian forces repaired the facilities and used them to resupply and maintenance a massive submarine.
This must take place...
Here's a question. How long do you think this submarine is?
Ace Combat 5 kind of did this.
495 meters,
where there was a mission where you were in a dogfight over the Alred International Airport or something, but there was another mission you could kind of do. You have to kind of unlock it or something.
I guess it really is huge. So
where...
OIA analyst from Advanced Weapons Analysis.
You hear it mentioned in the level where you have these bombs that have a anti-chemical agent because Yuktobania did a chemical attack on the college town of Bana. and all you have is a gun. They don't even give you missiles. There's the Mirage 2000 has a lot of hard points. You should have missiles, but what can I say?
Range is over 400 kilometers.
A real monster if there ever was.
Either way, though, I think you can play that in the free mission. You might be able to unlock it.
Furthermore, it can approach
Or whatever. What I'm trying to say is I have never played the mission as a part of the story progression, even though it actually is kind of in the story. Mostly because, I don't know, all manner of factors.
356 crewmen, 330 were rescued. Here's the question. For how many days was the Alicorn underwater? It was 698 days.
Wow. They were down there 2 years?
They were on the seafloor at 15 degrees.
So why are they deploying it to the front lines now?
I suspect it has to do with the loss of an Arsenal bird and the IRBM cluster.
Okay, so we just blow up the damn thing?
We capture it. Don't make me repeat myself.
Well, no, you're going to be blowing it up.
That there are weapons of mass destruction.
So these DLC missions, I never really thought about it before, but these DLC missions must take place at some point during the game, normally.
Our mission is to secure air superiority and protect this assault and capture task force.
If we take too long, they'll scuttle the sun. The fleet will commence its actions while we seize the skies.
Wouldn't it be risky to bring the fleet in before we secure air superiority?
That is none of your concern.
You sound like my previous boss. Not my real boss, the AWACS from the beginning of the game and that one guy.
An EW squadron will be deployed. Their ESM will be a valuable asset.
Alright.
Stay within their range, and you'll have a significant advantage over your enemies.
Yes, this is a mechanic from Ace Combat 6. In my opinion, they never should have removed it. And they never should have removed the squad controls. So...
Wait, Wiseman, you're not coming?
I'll be assisting the Brigadier General at HQ.
This is by no means a difficult
I
mission.
really liked
Your squadron commander's
how you
absence
could,
shouldn't change
like,
that.
there was a sort of, you could do 3 missions within a mission. Depending on the mission, you might have to do more. This is in Ace Combat 6. So what happens is there's this bar. Okay, so there's squad attack. There's attack and defense, which is for your wingman only. You only get one wingman in number 6. They did this sort of in 0, but they didn't give you what I'm about to explain next. There's squad attack and squad defense. Now what that means is, say you're helping the Amerian Navy, which is in Ace Combat 6. You help them do their mission, this and that. Then you help, say, several other air squadrons doing something else, mainly an air-focused part of the operation, protecting an AWACS plane or something. You complete that. So, assuming there's only 3 of these submissions within a mission, so objectives, if you will, and you can choose which ones you want to do in order. You only need to do 2 most of the time, and there's no, like, do this one first, do that one next. It's you can do the ones clear across the map if you want. In this case, what will happen next is a bar fills up. This is largely due to you killing enemies. I don't know if it charges itself, but think of it like a super move. Every weapon that those airplanes have and that those ships have usually will fire at your target, at multiple targets, or what happens, I think, is this circle goes out through the screen whenever you do squad attack or squad defense, and any enemy within that circle dies, pretty much. So it's a nice feature. You can use it to kind of kill off a lot of enemies in a short period of time, but they don't have that in this. I kind of wish they did, and if they didn't, not to get rid of squad controls, because frankly, having the ability in Ace Combat games after it was introduced would be a very nice form of control to, like, defend yourself more. Also, the flares don't work half for shit. Not because of the difficulty. Okay, I think I played this game on other difficulties where the flares work and activate kind of a thing. But, yeah, they don't work for half shit half the time, if at all. In Project Wingman, they work great, and what they did in Project Wingman was, instead of just giving you, say, 6 flares, you get infinite flares, and it's a timer in between each use. So, like, say 6 seconds per between each use. And in that time, a lot of things can happen in 6 seconds. And, well, I hope you get the point here. After those 6 seconds, you can use it. But again, it's like, these flares don't work half the time. Why do you have them? Let's see what I can get. I already have that. I can get the 22. I already have the 57. I already have the Berkut. This is the 35S. The 37. It's the 34. Oh, is that the full? Yep, that's the fullback. The MiG-31. The Foxhound. What's... okay. Yeah, the European tree is... because it ends at... wherever the Mirage... well, it ends with the Typhoon and the Rafale. And goes into the F-35, the American one here. We already have that. I'm not sure. I'm like a kid. I'm like the kid who has a lot of money to buy stuff, but doesn't really... wait. Was that... I must have bought some DLC to get the BIS right there. What is all move? Okay, yeah. It's like, you know, there's the quintessential F-14 right there. Okay, MiG-29, we have all of those. I suppose we can go Russian. This is where some music would be playing ordinarily. The only place in this game I cannot turn off music is the cutscenes. It doesn't apply to everything. Sometimes games will actually make the cutscene, like, the music apply to just about everything. I literally have just money to kill. Because I got all the good planes that I really want. There's not really... you want... oh. The items have not been purchased yet. Of course they haven't. I can get all the multiplayer whatnot, but, like, hang on. There's no... we're gonna look at that in a minute. No, I didn't want to do that. Let's go back. Really? You can just go to the thing. So this is all of the multiplayer upgrades you can get for your plane, or planes, depending on whichever one you want to do. This is like a boost thing, reduces respawn time. This is all fine, but I feel there should have been at least some multiplayer exclusive planes, because, look, I've unlocked that. I think that's about it. This is, if you take this as an idea of how much I'd played the multiplayer of Ace Combat 7 when it was probably being played by people, and bear in mind, this is a niche game as is. This doesn't really get you much, because by looking at, if you look at where the stats are, in most cases, oh, hang on, no, wrong, we need to go down here. So, say, okay, look at this. in most cases, it's really just slightly increasing the stats. And that's not enough for me to really play this here, because this is a game of skill, especially in multiplayer. Oh, wait, no, we need to buy that plane. Right. Nope. Let's go. Oh, no, wait, did we? Did we not? I don't know. SU-30M2. Boy, just killing time. I mean, that's the one I actually wanted, but all right, let's just skip it, because what is that going to do? Gun automation. The machine gun automatic. Oh, that's interesting. That is very interesting. Gun range. Oh, wow, that's... I almost never use the gun to begin with, unless it's like a, okay, yeah, no. I almost never use the gun unless it's like a ground attack mission, and even then... Excuse me. Even then, it's really kinda... I mean, let's be honest here. It's not really all that useful most of the time for me. I don't really... Especially in air combat, I don't think I have the skill to really use it effectively. In Project Wingman, I'm a bit better. I don't know, maybe because of how big the reticle actually is, kind of a thing, so... There is that. Unexpected visitor. I forget where that tune comes from. It ends with now. The words.
It's a requiem.
It's a requiem.
Set off as soon as we're ready.
This opens like a movie. Which, the closest thing we'll probably get to an Ace Combat movie is Dawn Arrow War, which is a audio play by the guy, I think he wrote it, I don't remember, by the guy who did the music for Project Wingman. So
Retreat and wait for backup. Retreat not authorized. Gain air superiority at once. Trigger, what now?
You're attacking only the air targets. I don't want the air targets!
Trigger's already kicked off the game.
We're going in. After Trigger.
All aircraft engage. Weapons free.
Sure.
You didn't tell us there was a change in the H hour. You mean our hotshot won't even last 5 minutes? They're one step ahead in the dogfight.
Go slow down. Being late is not an option.
Enemy ships. Box 2. Missile closing in on me.
Alright.
Hostile behind you. Shake him off, quick.
Let's see how good you are.
Target eliminated. Vehicle confirmed destroyed.
Let's go after that Typhoon.
Fox 2.
I don't need no Wiseman to fly.
Improve it, Count.
Righto.
I wonder if that was ever experimented with in Jet Fighter. Well, maybe it was. I mean, maybe experiment is the wrong word. With Jet Fighters equivalent to this, having two cannons like right there, if you know what I mean.
Being outnumbered is tougher than I thought.
Shut your trap and keep shooting.
Shut your trap and keep shooting. That's lovely.
Missile launched.
Yeah, no duh. Yeah. Oh, I just fired a missile without a target.
Strider Squadron. Enemy aircraft have begun their assault on the fleet. Swiftly secure our air superiority.
I know that, but we're outnumbered. Pushing back hard.
Take them on in pairs.
Locked on.
I want to save those.
Keep course. A few sparks are to be expected.
Target is down.
What do we hit?
You're back, Strider 2.
Bandit in my sights.
Enemy has a lock on you.
Well, look who we've got here. This planet I may be past our prime, but we're no pushovers. Yeehaw! Here we go, cowboys. Surround them. This is Enchanter. We've entered the AO.
Yes, EW aircraft and Drake Squadron are here.
I didn't think you'd get her so quickly.
We're here, team. It was fun flying with you guys for one last time. That was a fine last week, brother.
The EW aircraft have strong ESM on board. They can improve your dogfighting capabilities by enhancing missile range, homing, and more.
Yeah, pretty much the mechanic. Interesting question. I think the early first-gen jet fighters had multiple main guns. Yeah, that's what I realized. That I'm sorry I did not notice your chat, Captain Pie. They did. What I mean is, I guess, multiple guns like this one. And I mean, you see, that to me does not look like a rotary gun, a rotary cannon, you know. I know, like, the F-86 Sabre had 6 50 caliber machine guns, actually. The MiG-20, well, pretty much most MiGs, jet MiGs, actually had multiple cannon. I suppose what I mean, like, this is. So you see there's one there and there's one there. So yeah. I need to check something quickly. And pretty much, I mean, what can I say? But I realized they did, and I don't know, maybe my phrasing of the question wasn't really the best. This was so much more effective in Ace Combat 6, being the ADMM. Yep. Well, in reality, the Russians haven't been able to develop many of them. It's a pretty cool plane, don't get me wrong, and really anyone who can build a 5th generation fighter, even though it's their 3rd attempt, or 2nd, depending on if you consider the Su-47. But yeah, for that specific gun setup, nothing comes to mind. Yeah, that's what I was thinking I would rephrase it as. But back to the other thing. The Su-57 is actually Russia's, I believe, 3rd attempt at actually developing a Generation 5 fighter. The first attempt was the MiG 1.44. The second, I believe, was the Su-47, which was a very interesting design. I know... Yeah, it got nerfed like crazy. Fun fact, Ace Combat 6 is the only game I've ever beaten on hard difficulty. Mainly because I wanted the ability to fly this very plane. I think I even beat the game just using this plane and nothing else. Oh. I do have 4 other Ace Combat games, though, but they're due to the fact 3 of them are on PS2, and my other one is on... the other one's a PS1 game, but works on PS2. It's not it's a bit of a pain because it's pre-HDMI, and while I have adapters... Excuse me, while I have adapters... there's this weird audio issue where the audio cuts out and then comes back. And it's a very consistent thing. And I've tested this on multiple games, like maybe it's a game thing. Oh, this guy's crazy.
Detecting hostile barrage jamming. They brought EW aircraft.
Ah, the EA-18. Rather clever idea, actually. Making an electronic warfare plane into the body of a fighter.
When in range of enemy jammers, missile lock-on and homing capabilities are reduced. This is gonna be trouble. Trigger took down the enemy EW aircraft.
Yep. Captain Pie, if you are still there, do you have a favorite plane to play in, well, this Ace Combat, but any others? I actually liked in Ace Combat 6. Streaming old games is a pain. It really is. Like, with Ace Combat 6, I mean, yeah, let's not keep pausing and talking at the same time. With Ace Combat 6, it's at least still doable because of the fact the 360 and later Model 360s were HDMI capable. I have actually an old Roxio Game Capture HD Pro, believe it or not, where it has both HDMI and composite inputs and outputs. But no modern game capture device takes into account the streaming and recording. I mainly intend to stream. If I record, I'm not able to stream for whatever reason. But none of those systems now really take into account retro consoles. And one way to kind of get around that is emulation, but not everyone's capable of that. Ah! Bad stall warning. Bad stall warning. Oh. I'm aware of that. Oh, this is going to be one of those moments where the plane is always close to you, no matter what turn you do. That's other than flying through tunnels. Oh. Yep, I'm well aware. I actually miss... Wow. You remind me of some characters from Gundam.
The bogey shot down an Erusian bird. What do you mean?
Oh. Come on. I started with 7 into the series. Well, I like to think Ace Combat 6 is probably the best starter for the series. It's a lot easier than this one. But, I mean, you know, whichever one... Funny, okay, so I did not get into this genre from playing Ace Combat at all. How I got into the genre was with the first Hawks game, which had a lot of planes. A lot of planes. Oh, here we go.
Spent 2 years at the bottom of the ocean. They wouldn't want to go back to that.
I'm not sorry for your loss. But, Ace Combat 6 is probably the best starter Ace Combat game. Hawks might even be better for that, although the missile and gun buttons are different. But otherwise, the flight controls are the same. Hawks is both a PS3 and Xbox game. So if you have either of those systems, you should be able to. But the problem is, excuse me, it is not backwards compatible. And, well, you know, PlayStation's attitude towards backwards compatibility. So, there we go. So, I mean, you can play that as a PC player. Yeah, well, you don't. It's not the only Ace Combat game on PC. I don't regret anything either. I think PC gaming is genuinely superior. I'm playing this on an Xbox One S because it was the only upgraded Xbox I can get, because I had a 500 gig Xbox One, the really big one, you know, the really early Xbox Ones, because Series X's and S's and PS5s, although I tend to be more of an Xbox player, are basically just impossible to find at market value right now. And I'm just like, rather just get a PC. At least that's easier to acquire, whether it's as parts or not, you know, as a pre-built, which I'm gonna get when I have the money for it. The NZXT pre-build, build your PC kit thing. It's pretty much a pre-built, but you get to build it. It's not expensive. It's about the same as my current pre-built, because at the time I didn't feel I was, how shall I say, confident enough to build a PC on my own, or at all. So there's that. But PC in general is superior, but some experiences won't be coming to PC, like a lot of PlayStation stuff, even though they are doing some of their IP now as PC stuff. I don't think they'll do all of it. Like, God of War 4 is only now coming to PC. So if they do, it'll take a really long time. And so, it's like, the PC hasn't necessarily made consoles entirely redundant, even though that's probably what will happen at some point. So, oh wow, that was close. Near midair right there. Right. But the other offering for Ace Combat games on PC is Ace Combat Assault Horizon, which is ostensibly the worst Ace Combat game. Has good music, don't get me wrong, but just about everything else sucks. I mean, I played the Holy Trinity of Ace on emulator, so that's fine. That is great. The fact that you can do that is actually quite impressive. Ah! High G turns saved my life. Emulation really, is great. AH is not an Ace Combat game. I completely agree. It's a game with the Ace Combat name, I suppose is a better way of putting it. I hated the last... Oh... No stall warning. Really neither will I. I got it. Don't get me wrong. I liked its... Oh, how fun. I liked its slightly updated graphics from 6. I liked its music. But its gameplay sucked. Yeah, definitely. I can agree with that. Have you played Project Wingman at all? Because Project Wingman is pretty much a big love letter to this game series. I highly suggest it. It's also an indie game, believe it or not. Made in the same engine as this. Because it's an indie game, obviously it doesn't have the overall same level of polish, but it has a significant level of polish, you would think, for an indie game. So, what can I say? There we go, got some Rafales. Fun fact, history-wise, there actually did exist submarine aircraft carriers. There were 3 of them. They were the Japanese Sentoku class. Horribly impractical in every conceivable way. But it had room for 3, I believe, Siren seaplanes. And after the war, the US Navy got them. Then the Russians wanted them, and then we scuttled them because communism. But it was an interesting idea. The French created a... I've beaten it on release day, on hard, prior to Crimson 1, patch, in 1... Oh, wow. You, sir, deserve a prize. Oh, my friend, I'm trying here. Yay!
Target's destruction confirmed.
Oh, he seems like he became a cult leader when he was on the floor of the ocean for 2 years. I mentioned the Sentoku class because that was a thing. I highly suggest you look that up. Then there was... The French had a battle cruiser that was also a submarine that got killed by friendly fire, so they didn't even get to use it. But I'm like, why do navies create these horribly impractical ships? The closest thing I would say, at least in terms of size, to the submarine we just encountered here is the Russian Typhoon, of which I don't even think they have any more of them. It was this massive ballistic missile submarine that was like, it had a greenhouse, I think. It had a gym. It had...
The operation has been completed. Stand by for further orders. Hold on. We still don't know who those bats were.
And then it had a
Where were they
pool,
after Trigger?
which was pretty
They were
cool.
using OCS radio frequency. You mean they're on our side? Impossible.
Do you have a favorite ship? I have a favorite operation. Sort of. I wouldn't exactly call it an official operation, but it's the... You being a World War II person when it comes to naval combat and whatnot. Are you aware of the battle against the Japanese Center Force during the, I think it was around Leyte Gulf, that operation going on, where Taffy 3, there were other task groups that were similar to Taffy 3 that were helping him out after a while, but Taffy 3 screwed over and fucked up the Japanese Center Force with everything they had, and I think it was Nagumo. I don't remember. Whatever, we'll just say a Japanese admiral because I don't want to look that up right now, but I'm reasonably certain it was him. What was going on is... Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. How can you not think... How bad... And I know the Japanese ships at that time did not have radar or any significant radar to really mean anything. How can your intelligence be so bad that you don't realize a fleet of destroyer escorts, destroyers, and escort carriers is not Halsey's third fleet? Because that was the screw up right there. Another one I liked was... I think it was the Bismarck.
Another question, Alex.
Is hard, but honestly, yeah. Guadalcanal has some crazy stories. There's a British operation. I think it was the Bismarck.
Wrong.
It was either that or the other one. The Tirpitz. Whichever one was in the fjords of Norway, and then there was the one that got damaged like crazy around, I think, Uruguay, if you know what I'm talking about. But basically, it was an order from Winston Churchill that was like, sink the Bismarck! Because it was like revenge for Prince of Wales being sunk, or one well-known Royal Navy ship at the time was sunk to hell, quite literally.
All right, let's go.
And one ship was damaged, but they damaged this thing pretty bad in return.
Okay.
Oh God, what else is there? There's Overlord, which was one hell of an operation. Another naval fjord was the Tirpitz. Okay, yeah, that's what it was. The Bismarck was probably somewhere else at the time. I sometimes get those two in particular confused in terms of operation, but I know other details enough to be reasonably correct. Another operation I liked... Oh God, what was it? I had it in my head for a bit. It was the one where the British sunk the French Navy when they ordered them to, like, disarm at a neutral or British port or fight with the British against the Nazis, and they're like, no. And pop goes your uncle, no more French Navy in the Mediterranean. Because that actually would have seriously challenged the Royal Navy's supremacy in the Mediterranean. So... yeah. I don't remember if that was the North African coast where that was, or if it was the French coast. I'm reasonably sure it was the French Mediterranean coast, wherever the naval bases were there at the time. Things like that change over time, you know. But, I also like... because I think it was the first time it was ever actually used, the crossing the T maneuver. But I believe Admiral Nelson, who fought at Trafalgar, used the tactic against Admiral Villeneuve's French and Spanish forces to... Didn't we do this? Didn't we do this? No, we did this. It doesn't just go to the next one. Why don't you just go to the next one? Bismarck was... okay. Oh, yes, the Channel Dash. That was amazing. Okay. I can only imagine how pissed off Winston Churchill was when he heard about that. That was an amazing operation. In the Atlantic, where Bismarck and Prince Eugen encountered Hood and Prince of Wales, sinking the Hood. Yeah. No. That's Anchorhead. Wasn't there a mission in Anchorhead in the main campaign? Let's go there. God, what else is there? I don't think I have any other favorite naval operations, really. I mean, there's the Coral Sea Battle, which I'm not really sure. And damaging the Prince of Wales. Yeah, I'm not really sure. Other than Coral Sea, there's any really interesting naval battles. Just because when it comes to World War II, I tend to focus more on like ground and air engagements. So one famous air engagement of World War II was The Legend of Y-29, which I highly suggest you watch the episode. On History Channel, there's some episodes of a TV show called Dogfights. Channel Dash from France. That's the one I was talking about, I think. Yeah, no, that's the one where Winston Churchill lost his freaking mind when he heard about that. Because it's like, you have this opportunity. You control the English Channel. I damn near forgot its name for a minute. And you miss this. However the hell they did that, that's an intelligence failure, and you know they never let that happen again. But overall, I tend to focus more on the ground engagements and air engagements. The Pacific probably had some of the craziest naval engagements around. Some we don't know about, some we know about. But I highly suggest you watch a series called Dogfights. It's how I learned about the whole Taffy 3 situation. There's also a show called Greatest Tank Battles, which is all about tank battles. The only damage the German capital ships encountered was literally mines being there by coincidence. I know, it's like, you control, because the Royal Navy, even though Britain was being squeezed for a while, still was quite the power, and I don't even think even then the German surface fleet could really deal with them all that effectively. So, and where they dealt with convoys was outside of the range of the RAF and the Royal Navy, so you got where that's going. But then the U.S. entered the war, and, you know, so their overall area of operation probably shrank a bit after that happened.
Element of surprise and resupplying are the key.
Oh, what else is there?
A couple of pilots who will stick to my orders.
I had a thought. I lost it. I'll probably think about it at some point in the future.
That is all.
David, go on.
Let me share the career of Mateus Torres, captain of the submarine Alicorn.
He looks like he's high. Like, I mean, look at him. He probably went crazy being down on the ocean for however long.
The battleship Tanager, the time of the Continental War.
If you have Twitter, I suggest following the developer of Project Wingman, because it's looking like... I know of the operations room. I'll check out the other guy. But the guy, RBD2, is one of the main, if not the main developer. I've heard that his team is all around the world that made the game. Or he's the only one who developed the game, but other people did other things, whatever. He has a Twitter. And it's looking like there's going to be another big update for Project Wingman. He just doesn't know what to name it or something. I don't even think it's finished. Nonetheless, whatever. And it's looking like we might get more planes. One of the planes in one of the images he has could very well be, it's either the MiG-15 or the MiG-17. Those two planes look similar. I can only ever tell the difference from the MiG-19 because the MiG-19 has 2 engines. Okay, yeah, this is a CFA mission. I know it's a CFA mission. There is a YouTube channel. I will post the link in the chat. I have to open YouTube. Hang on. Kings and Generals. They also have a sister channel called One Sec BRB. I am leaving a link in the chat. Ask about it when you get back. Pacific War. What was the other one? I might have just found another channel. Awesome. Great. So and then Time Ghost. For anyone else that could be watching, I am putting links to channels back. Welcome back. I'm putting links to history-themed YouTube channels I think you will like. The first 2 are Kings and Generals, and the other one's the Cold War, quite literally a channel about the Cold War. The third one is the Time Ghost YouTube channel, and the next one I'm doing is the World War II YouTube channel, which is a thing of Time Ghost. And then the other one is the Ace Destroyer. He is a history YouTuber, but he also does something actually really cool, and he helps identify unknown soldiers from the First World War. And that is awesome. I think he's from Belgium. So just so you know, when you hear his thing, you might, be like, oh, where is he from? But he has a lot of battles. He has one of his playlists is Tank Battles of World War II. He did a whole mini-series, if you will, on the Battle of Narva in 1944. What other playlist did he do? Hell in the Hurtgen Forest. I'm sure you know what the Hurtgen Forest is. The Canadians in Normandy. He's done some World War I stuff, like the Battle of Ypres. And actions on Belgian soil, battles of World War I, Western Front. He mainly focuses on World War II and World War I. I doubt he's going to do anything... Oh, I'm on Germany, so don't worry about accents. I've only met, I think, one German in my life, and I don't even remember where, but most Germans I've heard on YouTube speak English better than most Americans. But yeah, no, America has some of its accents too. Okay, so there's the Texas one. It sounds just like you're assuming. New York and Jersey, they're similar, but there's slight differences. They sound somewhat stereotypical. My mother is friends with a guy who's actually from Jersey itself, and he sounds just like that. Nice guy though. I never like talk with him directly, but I've overheard him like talking to my mom on the phone. They talk on the phone all the time. They're old friends. Not all American accents are easy for me to really discern from one another. Some are, some aren't.
Nice trigger. There's no enemy movement yet. Gobble up all the high-value targets. Forget about your manners.
Right. So.
Had to stay behind last time. This is gonna be a walk in the park.
Oh boy. And I'm burping like crazy. I shouldn't have eaten all that mac and cheese. Mac and cheese is one of my favorite foods. Great Naval Blunders by Jeffrey Regan lying next to me. Sounds like a good book. Reading novels is difficult for me because I often lose interest, and it's just, that's how it is for me. Audiobooks are often better, so I will write it down somewhere. So, Great Naval Battles, or Great Naval Blunders. Great Naval Blunders. Speaking of a naval blunder, Halsey getting, like, tailed away from the Philippines for a long time, up near, what, the Aleutians or Alaska or something? Because it was like a sizable force. Oh, look, I don't have an active Audible subscription right now, and so that's that. But I have typed it down somewhere.
Air defense is confirmed. Keep on dining. Just don't pay for it. Righto. Begin firing SAMs. Why don't we have a fire? They think they've already won. Now's our chance. Now time for a counterstrike. I should have brought my air-to-ground missiles.
A bomb would work fine. You'll wipe them out with one hit. Contact lost. Multiple friendlies.
Oh, I'm having gas pains. That's not good. They're very uncomfortable. I won't elaborate on that. I'm sure you know what that feels like. I'm also moving my mic kind of further away, so tell me if you can't hear my favorite story about that book. The Russian 2nd Pacific Squadron. Is this the one from, no, because I'm thinking of the Russo-Japanese War, and I remember they brought like a chunk of the Baltic and Northern fleets all the way around Europe and all the way around Africa to Japan because their Pacific Squadron got destroyed or something. Which pretty much made Japan, it's that story? Oh my god! We're thinking of the same thing! That was, I remember, there's this whole documentary about the Russian Navy I saw once. Oh, I got hit. And, oh, stop it. Bad missile lock, bad. I know of that story from it was this documentary about the Russian Navy. It was a loose documentary about the Russian Navy detailing, the time of Peter the Great and how they kicked the shit out of Sweden, and whatnot, that was dealt with. Yeah, I know. It was insane. Why would you even order an operation like that? At that point, no wonder the Tsars lost it, kind of a thing. I'm not really sure what to say about that. That was just stupid. Because I don't think they adequately actually prepared for that. Deserves some A medal from the jet. Yeah. Just getting there deserves a medal. It's like, we survived. Excuse me. We survived this voyage to this battle we're going to lose. Give us a medal.
We've wiped out most of their forces in the urban area.
Sorry.
Some ships moving. Trigger, let's go for those.
There's no need to go through the whole menu. Focus on the juicier targets. Roger that. Here we go, Trigger. I'm actually getting used to flying like Trigger.
I also, I do it as a hobby. I don't do it like every day of the week. But, I like to build models.
Strider 1, missile away.
I have mostly tanks and mostly planes. I have some ships. In fact, I have some battle. I think I have the Bismarck. I have the Graf Spee. I can't pronounce that second one very well. Prince of Wales. I might have an American. I have. Oh God, what was that? Because I'm looking right at it. The Ticonderoga aircraft carrier. I have a version of the Enterprise, the nuclear one. So the fight was a great story, but the voyage was even worse. Yeah. And I have a Japanese. No, not Japanese. I have a Royal Navy carrier. It's like their modern carrier before they had the before the Royal Navy had the Queen Elizabeth class. So, but ships are very different from planes and tanks. So, yeah, there's that.
Target is Vice Chief of Naval Ops, Rear Admiral Samuel Prynn, sending coordinates.
You got it.
All aircraft, we've data linked the intel we've received from our recon team. If you have a visual on the target, shoot it down.
Oh,
Strider 1, missile away.
Yes.
Target confirmed down. With Samuel Prynn gone, Erusia's naval stratagem will lose its edge.
Capital Alpha, take a roundabout towards the Joint Government Office from the waterfront. Radio chatter in that area has quieted down.
One of the crazy, which were fishing boats. That has to be insulting, you know. Like, you have a good chunk of your navy, or a chunk of your navy, destroyed by fishing boats.
That is the unanimous conclusion of those in this room, Brigadier General. Certainly not the result I predicted.
The Russian fleet expanded. Yeah, I know. That's not very good gunnery skills. Not hitting once. Oh, man. Well, I think I kind of learned their lesson at this point.
Awesome. Keep it up, Trigger. We gotta shoot at him to shut him up.
No, target what's in front of you.
Found ourselves in a miracle.
Oh.
I thought you said this was going to be a walk in the park? You take walks to, well, walk. With a picnic. Yeah, eat.
I mean, funny enough, the Russians still have, I believe, one of the nuclear battle cruisers that made the U.S. Navy recommission the Iowas. The Pyotr Veliki, I believe is what it's called. My God, is that thing a predator.
Confirming additional hostile ground forces. Strider 1, Fox 2. Strider 1, AA gun destroyed. Forward MiG-31's approaching. They're fast. These guys are interceptors.
Oh, yeah.
310, altitude
At least their engines don't melt. Funny, okay, if you ever come to the States, I highly suggest, obviously going to, like, museum ships. But if you go to Dayton, Ohio, let's just skip this here. If you go to Dayton, Ohio, you can go to the Air Force Museum, and they have an Iraqi MiG-25. I never saw a MiG-25 up close to that point. And my God, is it big! I have seen, like, fighters at air shows and whatnot, and I've never... Like, I've seen World War II bombers, I've seen World War II fighters in museums and in the air and whatnot. cargo planes, the works. Not even bombers in the air. That would be cool to see a bomber flying. Like a jet bomber, like a buff. But I've never seen F-14s, which are interceptors, are not even that big. Something so massive as a MiG-25, and this was an Iraqi MiG-25, so let's take off.
Strider 1, this is...
Skip.
This is Rhodey. Hold my time until our rear catches up. Strider 1, lock on back. You're not equipped for air-to-air. Strider 1, missile away. We've got machine guns. Engage eyes on the sky. Engage the enemy aircraft. Locked on. You're mine.
I've noticed that a few times already when you are close to the ground. Turn on the side, otherwise half salvo will slam. Yeah. I'm better at that with Ace Combat 6. This game doesn't always do a good job when in this viewing mode of, I guess, I'm trying to find the right word, delineating altitude well. I've had that problem in Hawks. I've you know, don't hold that against it.
Large numbers. 8 Su-37s.
8 Su-37s. Why is that one going straight? Not going straight.
This is Tucker 204 requesting airstrike. Sending coordinates. Don't waste it. Lock your shipyard is a bleeding inferno! This one's mine.
Go that way. Stupid thing. Part of it's mostly because I'm trying to target ground targets as opposed to the air.
Trigger, enemy has a lock on you. Trigger's wiped out the enemy's AA guns.
Friendly should have an easier time attacking ground targets.
Target confirmed down. The man you just killed, Captain Dirk Tarnat.
Oh.
The main reason why the cruiser Indio was deemed such a threat.
Hostile ships approaching from the southeast. It's a large fleet with Aegis vessel Metis and battleship Dysnomia numbering among them.
Yep. I have a far more important thing to do, my friend.
Let's do this.
It's a good thing this thing is fucking fast.
If it weren't for the bad weather, we would have been caught in there. Prepare for anti-air combat. Harper drone has reached the target. Captain, we're starting the guided artillery fire drill. Command duty officer, what do you think will turn a drill into a real war? You don't see it, do you? It's imagination. So use your imagination.
By the way, if you have questions about with over 300 hours. I don't even think I have that much in it. I mean, I mostly play the campaign. If you know, since you've played this, you know how annoying the multiplayer is. Excuse me. It was kind of like if you've ever played Ace Combat Infinity, the free-to-play Ace Combat game that got shut down before it was on the PS3 and everything. I wish they made the campaign for that playable, because that would be great. So
a single shell will save 10 million lives. Begin drill. Ready for anti-air combat. We reduced enough of the enemy forces. Job well done.
That prime rib and truffle soup sure were good.
Don't.
But hold on, lunchtime's not over yet. Go grab some desserts.
I knew you'd say that. 3 strikes is performing well above our expectations. You sound downright ecstatic. All right, Trigger, let's go get
I'll
him.
take your offer to heart. That's not what I wanted, but hey, I can refuel, rearm, get rid of the damage to my plane.
Strider 1, this is control tower.
Alright.
4 aircraft destroyed the entire port? Are you hallucinating? It's not a hallucination, it's a nightmare!
Well,
They took a bite out of me. Breaking.
Missile.
Target has been destroyed.
5 minutes remaining.
The enemy's weighing our base. D-sharp gunnery officer.
Strider 1,
Aye, sir.
vessel destroyed. Additional UAVs on radar.
Pretty shabby for a reinforcement.
Stay sharp. There's There's something amiss. Missile!
Locked on! Break!
Missile.
Missile in the air! Evade! Strider 1!
Missile.
Trigger has destroyed the target. Warning, incoming high-speed projectile.
Well, I'm fairly decent at multiplayer. Does anyone even play the multiplayer at all? Because the multiplayer, you know, is a room. You have to create a room and hope people join, which is terrible multiplayer. Not so much the actual playing of it. I feel the playing of it, when you can get people to play it, is really good. But I wish they would have kept the PvE aspect as well as like a separate multiplayer mode if you've ever played Ace Combat Infinity. And for multiplayer and, well, the PvE and P versions of the multiplayer, I wish they would have kept the bots, because then you can have, say, an 8-player match with 4 bots, so 2 bots on each team. I'm not saying to make this easier for other players, but it's just waiting for a match can take a really long time sometimes. I never really liked that about the multiplayer at all.
Salvation! Impact at the UAV's coordinates.
Oh.
Shit, I'm hit!
What? What happened? More on the way.
What in the world?
Contact imminent.
Oh.
Trigger, you hanging in there? Picture it.
Well, I'm going above 5,000 meters, so...
The death of a million is a necessity. Analysis shows the projectile was a railgun shell. We're currently determining the launch site.
They're shooting from beyond the horizon. That's why they need the UAV for terminal guidance.
We'll data link the predicted explosion radius from now on.
Left in private lobbies amongst themselves. Yeah. It's good multiplayer, but it's like...
I want that 100% survival rate.
Roger that. I'm pulling out.
We got the rest covered.
I'm counting on you.
That bandit is still on your back. Bandit down. Hostile has a lock. I see that 3 strikes guy eroding squadron was talking about.
Missile.
But you have to admit, the way they went about the multiplayer really does suck.
Bandit down.
I like, you know, the aspect of having rooms and everything,
Missile.
Open your eyes. Check 6.
but I don't like that was the only option, if you know what I mean. Doesn't help that a bunch of cheaters are around on PC. Yeah, no, cheating... I play on console, so I guess there's probably less cheaters. But...
Alright, all aircraft, follow Trigger's example if you can. Hell, that's easy for you to say.
Yeah, no, the cheating does suck. Like, I'm all for modding and whatnot, but only when it's allowed. I mod the hell out of Hearts of Iron 4. With, like, total conversion mods. I have a cheat mod for that, but only a cheat mod that, you know, I don't play them in multiplayer.
10 seconds to contact.
Because that is wrong, and that ruins other people's experiences. Nope.
Well, would have been, actually.
Felt some cramp in the sky. 2 minutes remaining.
Is there...
Missile launched. UAV confirmed destroyed.
A man of culture. Yes. Yes, a man of culture. The first... I actually bought Hearts of Iron to play Kaiserreich. Kaiserreich, I think, is a really... It has some... Oh, God damn it. What? Move the lines further back. Kaiserreich is probably some of the best lore of any HOI 4 mod. There's also TNO The Last Days of Europe.
Target acquired.
So there's that. There's a few others. There's actually a cool mod Oh. There's actually a really cool mod for HOI 4 that is like, it's not Age of Imperialism. There's another one that it's in beta or alpha or something.
1 minute remaining.
And missed, destroyed, whatever. But it's like over 300 years, 200 years. Did you know there was an Ace Combat mod in development? Sadly, it got canceled. How would that work? It sounds interesting. Why did it get canceled? Is it like a copyright thing, or not enough support to really do it? I mean, that's one reason I would imagine something like that would get canceled. Sucks, because modders can have some really cool mods. Stay dead. Modders can have really cool mod ideas.
10 seconds to contact. Maintain course if you want to go back to resupply.
No, don't.
Missile launched.
Missile. Missile.
Well done. We've managed to hit the Erusian Navy's fleet and command structure pretty hard.
Yeah, a lot of mods get canceled that way, and it sucks because a lot of the ideas are really cool.
Mission complete. Return to base. Withdraw from the operation and
Have you?
You completed the mission. It's not done until you return home.
That's actually quite embarrassing.
Stand by.
Have you played Stellaris
Inbound. Bearing
at all?
090, SU-47.
They added the full Strange Rail map, separated it into areas. Okay. So at least there's something we can like play around in.
Strider 3 is hit.
But again, have you played Stellaris? Because Stellaris is... I think it was my first significant Paradox game I played. There is a mod... Oh, I did that too early. There is a mod for Star Trek. Damn it. For Stellaris, that's really cool. Oh, wow! Let's game clip that.
Brigadier General Clemens is radioing enemy aircraft on Ocean channels.
No! 17 damage.
I repeat, withdraw.
I never played Stellaris. A friend of mine played it to death, so I know it's... Oh my god. Let's... I have, as you said, you have over 300 hours in this game. I have... Fuck, where was it? Why isn't this in... I need to add something to favorites a sec. Let's change that. Where are you? I have a total of 254.2 hours in Stellaris. And most of that is probably not even in the actual game itself. Mostly modding. You can mod Stellaris like crazy.
God damn idiots. You call me an idiot again, I'll kill you. Go to hell together. Brother and sister? Good, you're on their 6. It's 2-on-2, Trigger. We can't lose.
Sorry, wuss, but you don't count. It's 2-on-1.
Who you calling a wuss?
The bats seem to have enhanced their ECM capabilities.
Righto.
I'll be a goner if I let my guard down for even a second.
Target acquired.
How do you dodge that?
I'm just that good. I'm making a joke. I do suggest playing Stellaris. It's a little less crazy than... It's a little less crazy than HOI 4. Oh, come on! And the flares don't work, and I'm pressing the left thumbstick.
Come on, 3 strikes. You've got a hot chick right in front of you. You little bastard.
Projectile detected. 10 seconds to contact.
I mean, ordinarily I would go... There we go. Yeah, well, you're coming after me, you fool.
But the death blow will be from you, Trigger. I'll kill him, all right. Don't let the enemy...
Are we doing playtime flexing now? 600. I don't have a game that goes that high, but the game that was my big record before was Civilization 5 when I played it, often, is 378.5 hours, so I never got into Terraria. I really didn't like the 2D aspect, but that's fine. Neither here nor there, really. You know, everyone has their interests. I mean... Yeah, well, if I had $1 for every time, or euro, every time... Oh, I've been damaged again.
He's definitely lost his mind.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
There may only be one left, but don't let your guard down. Let's finish this once and for all, Trigger. Enemy shell detected. 10 seconds to contact. How dare you!
There's Count.
Enemy has a lock. Evade!
Got out, you fool.
She was my one and only.
What, sister?
Way to go, Trigger. What makes you a hero?
Stall warning.
We tried to be heroes too. We really tried.
Missile.
Wake up! I'll kill you.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Hit by a missile. No room for hesitation, Trigger. We've flown through much worse than this.
Yep.
Missile launched.
Yay, I killed both of them. Although...
That's a hit. We got the bat. Take that, asshole.
I thought one of these guys appeared in the last DLC mission. It's actually late. It's 10:44 where I am in the Eastern United States time zone, so I'm gonna go to sleep. Pet my cat, who's laying down next to me. She's waiting for me to go to sleep, because around this time I go to sleep.
Eject now.
Yeah.
I gotta catch up to her.
So I have a question. 4:45 in the morning for me. Yeah. It's late for early for you, or late depending on how late you stayed up. It's only just late for me. Before I go, because I'm gonna leave after the cutscene's over and whatnot. Which, like, special plane, we'll call them, do you think, from Ace Combat, do you think could exist in reality?
Stop thinking so small. It's salvation on a far grander scale.
His idea of salvation is not mine.
I can almost touch the water. Altitude restriction
I'm
lifted.
probably almost touching the water, too. I'm thinking the CFA could probably work if they can figure out how the ADMM things, like, situation happens. It could probably work without them, the XFA 27.
Hey, chill.
Stand down.
Shit, my cola.
The fleet at Anchorhead was eliminated, and we prevented the submarine from joining forces. The unidentified aircraft were shot down too. The mission was a complete success.
Oh, this is that weird...
Brigadier General, it sure seemed to me like the
I was flying this a little bit earlier. Yeah, no, I thought it was like a Hornet, like an F-18 on steroids.
If you're still fit for service
but
based on the examinations. Cut it. That's enough.
Yeah, no, I was playing this a bit earlier. In fact, I didn't beat the main campaign originally with the XFA 27, but I did that with... I don't even remember. But I beat the main campaign the second time I beat the game, which was like an hour ago. Because I'm trying to keep a basic schedule with streaming at least.
Explain for us.
with this plane. Yeah, no, I can definitely see it working. Like the engines might be the biggest issue because I think they're like pulse jet engines or something, like really futuristic stuff. So
sabotage, espionage, cyber propaganda, dissemination of false intel.
Yeah.
Brigadier General, do you recognize the name Edgar Saxon, or Zool, as he used to go by? He is a former member of the Alicorn's crew, and your source of intel.
You are a fool, Brigadier General Clemens. Not only that, the radio communications
it really
during
is,
the
though, a
mission
Tomcat on
suggest
steroids.
you
It's
are a
insane
traitor.
how maneuverable and
Sir,
fast
if you
it
check
is.
with Lieutenant General Shepard, you'll understand that this is all just a misunderstanding.
The Lieutenant General claims you were responsible for handling all aspects of the mission. Now, let me say that again. Get the MP.
No need for that. Piece of shit.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, more cutscene. I can't leave until the cutscene is done. A new plane pack dropped.
Intel from the mission.
Yeah, no, I saw that. I don't have the money to do it right now because right now the money I have is allocated to buying family Christmas presents. Myself, more Christmas presents. I have a list I kind of started early November. If you're into Warhammer, yeah, no, I think this pack, though, this releases the skins. If you know what I mean. There's a lot of JASDF skins that look really cool. If you're into Warhammer, I got the Kill Team Octarius like full starter kit thing that has like terrain, a mat, Deathcore of Krieg, which they have a hell of a story behind them.
The answer is tactical nuclear shells.
Nuclear shells?
Whatever, you know, it has orcs.
You got that question right.
Nah, I missed the shell.
I have a lot of Warhammer to build, though. I have some
They'll
fantasy.
likely attack our bases on the East Coast.
Their target's ORED, the Ocean capital.
Oh, everyone hates that. It's like
Here's a question.
alternate universe
What's the situation
Washington,
when
D.C.
nuclear
or something.
deterrence doesn't work?
Quiz guy, I've had enough of this.
Oh, only if terrorists have the nukes.
Correct.
Damn, Scald. Hey, I'm good at trivia games.
But we're after an Erusian submarine, not terrorists.
No, he's right. HQ tells me Erusia's justification is that the Alicorn mutinied. As such, the Erusian military cannot be held responsible for the submarine's actions.
Damn.
So they intend on dropping a nuke on the Ocean capital of ORED.
Here's a question for you, analyst. Just exactly who are we fighting?
Correct term is terrorist, or irregular military, but I have a different name for them. An enemy to be stopped at all costs.
Correct.
Oh, I got new emblems. I'm obviously back. I had to, well, to put it blindly, nature really wanted to be called. Yeah, no, Warhammer isn't for everyone. I like the lore. I like building the little, the miniatures. And there is, it's from the same company. It's a World War II miniature, like armored battle miniatures game, but it has infantry as well, called Flames of War. They have a couple of subsets. One, there's the main Flames of War, but there's a one for the movie Fury. Excuse me. There is a Stalingrad one. Boy, I need to drink more water. There's a Stalingrad one, and then there is... There were 3 ones. I don't know what happened, but hey. I don't know what the other one was. But then there's just general Flames of War stuff. And then there's another one called Team Yankee, and I have a starter for like 2 players. It's like America versus Soviet Union. Team Yankee is a World War III thing. There's stuff in Flames of War that's not just World War II. They kind of get into Arab-Israeli wars a little bit. And then, yeah, there's that, I suppose. There might be a Navy one. But I'm going to end the stream. Just because, I mean, I won't blame anyone for their rabbit holes. Let's say I'm kind of deep in HoloLive VTube. I'm assuming you mean VTuber. Rabbit hole right now. Or whatever that is. I don't. Whatever your interests are, or whatever your interests are, just as they are, just as mine are what I'm into. But, as I said, I'm going to end the stream here. Tomorrow, just because there's 1 DLC mission left, I wish they would add more VTuber. I wish... I considered that because I don't really like showing my face on camera. I don't like looking at it on camera. Mostly because I'm an Eagle Scout, it's the Boy Scouts of America, although ever since they allowed women, girls, to join, I think they changed their name. But my father had a tendency to show everyone and anyone speeches I had to do for it, and I'm just like, oh my God, stop. But, follow if you like. You obviously are not obligated to do so. Thank you for coming in. Most of all, though, talking to you was a lot of fun. About as fun as playing this game. After this, I'm trying to finish all of the games I have on my 1S digitally at the moment, so they won't all be as exciting. But tomorrow I will be finishing... I might do 2 streams tomorrow. I will be finishing the last DLC mission, which obviously won't take an hour. And I'm thinking... we're either going to do Gears of War 5, or we're going to do Fable Anniversary. So it's one of those 2. Have a nice day, or morning, in your case. To anyone else, have a nice day, or morning, or afternoon. And, see you tomorrow.